Ladies and gentlemen, on February 25th, NPR, Trump's tax returns are in... Manhattan prosecutor receives Trump's tax returns after lengthy legal battle. Manhattan prosecutors have had, which means the Democratic Party has, because I know that there's a committee in the House that wants Trump's tax returns. What are the chances that they don't? What are the chances that the entire Democratic Party doesn't already have everything that the Manhattan prosecutors have? So I just want to read you NPR, February 25th. It is now April 1st. Manhattan prosecutor receives Trump tax returns after lengthy legal battle. February 25th. Okay? An entire month. Well over, 34, 35 days. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is in possession of Donald Trump's tax returns following a years-long effort by the former president to shield his finances and business affairs from scrutiny. Okay, it has been 1 month that they've had the holy grail of Trump corruption. This is exactly what they've obsessed over. This is going to point to money from Putin that he utilized to pay for Russian Facebook ads and Stormy and everything else nefarious. This is what's going to take down Trump. They're going to impeach him again a year from now, even though it'll be the second year of our beloved President Biden's presidency. What? They found nothing. That's my point. So you have articles lately, like today and yesterday, talking about President Trump's tax returns are leading to further investigations, and people are... Cy Vance is going to resign, and they expect charges by the end of the year. They'll probably indict Trump on something just because they despise him so much that they think even if we go after this man, who actually didn't commit major crimes or any crimes, what did this man do in terms of a criminal act? I want to know. They say, he has 29 lawsuits, and he has criminal cases as well. Okay, they didn't impeach him on a crime. They didn't impeach him on breaking the law the first time. The first impeachment had nothing to do with Trump Russia. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I've been telling you from when I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I told you then, they're going after Trump in the same manner they went after Bernie Sanders. The difference is that Bernie Sanders is a tool of the Democratic Party. Trump fights. And like I said, the Steele dossier, the whole thing was complete and utter nonsense. The whole thing was absolute, complete, and utter nonsense. It was purchased by Clinton. And then you have an intelligence assessment. The intelligence community, our wonderful intelligence community, has been wrong since the Bay of Pigs, the Gulf of Tonkin, WMD. What have they been right about? What major, when they're wrong, it's catastrophic and leads to untold lives being lost. And in this case, divided the country. Like they say Trump divided the country. He didn't divide the country. Trump was a nightmare for Democrats and media and Hollywood and the music industry, everybody. He was a nightmare before he ever stepped foot in the Oval Office. So when they say he's so divisive, Trump is so divisive, this is serious now. What was serious was Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld's Quagmire's failed foreign policy, the most despicable decision-making that led to, again, endless lives lost, predicated upon intelligence failures. Manhattan prosecutor receives Trump tax returns after lengthy legal battle. Now, Bush, his actual, and like President Obama, with a failed NATO intervention that led to Libya becoming a failed state where human beings are being bought and sold because of the chaos and mayhem and suffering in that country. Who is talking about this now? Okay, I am on this channel. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. This is an important segment, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very important segment. I voted for President Trump because on May 1st, 2021, he negotiated a deal to get us out of never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts in a region of the world we shouldn't have been in for 20 years. General Daniel Bolger wrote a book, Why We Lost, and he said we should never engage in a protracted, prolonged counterinsurgency conflict. The Russians learned, the French learned, before them, we learned in Vietnam, and God bless the Vietnam veterans watching this, and God bless the Vietnamese American community throughout the country. The Vietnam veterans know, like Max Cleland, Senator Max Cleland, who was a hero and went up against the Bush administration, and he was disparaged and insulted by one of the Lincoln Project people. So, that's basically ancient Rome or ancient Greece. It's ancient history to people who just care about what the Washington Post or New York Times says about Trump yesterday or today. But here, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is in possession of Donald Trump's tax returns following a year-long effort by the former president to shield his finances and business affairs from scrutiny. They have yet to... Okay, if there was some groundbreaking, unbelievable story, they would have found out in over a month. They found nothing. Again, they might actually charge him with something just to save face. And then he'll have to have a protracted legal battle, and it might go into 2024. They might simply level charges at him so that they say, oh my God, he's facing a possible criminal. He might even go to prison, in his first term. If he were ever to win, in 2024, People will still won't care. He'll explain that this is complete nonsense. But again, they didn't, the Attorney General of D.C. and the Mayor of D.C. didn't level charges at President Trump. Yeah, there shouldn't have been protests that day. That's true. But he didn't tell people to commit any crimes. So he's not criminally liable. He didn't break any laws. He didn't work with Russia. They didn't impeach him on anything to do with Russia the first time. And the Mueller probe had already ended. They didn't even impeach him on obstruction of justice pertaining to the Mueller probe, because they were holding on to that fantasy. They said, he obstructed justice. Well, why didn't you impeach him on that? Bill Clinton, oh my goodness, they impeached me on, what do they impeach me on? Oh yeah, perjury and obstruction of justice. I can't believe it. They impeached Bill Clinton on perjury and obstruction of justice. Those are two legal statutes that he broke, two crimes that he committed. Okay, pertaining to, oh my goodness, we were in the Oval Office, and we were talking about intercontinental ballistic missiles. And all I can tell you is I used an anatomical prop. Well, there was no papier-mâché missile. What was I supposed to do? See, I was forward-thinking. Nobody let their interns talk about foreign policy the way I did. And that's the thanks you get. The road, you know what? No good deed goes unpunished. That's the story of my life. Anyway, MSNBC ran stories about this. The Democrats obsessed over this. Well, a spokesman for the Manhattan District Attorney, Cyrus Vance, confirmed to NPR over email that his office obtained the records on Monday. That same day, U.S. Supreme Court declined Trump's request to further delay enforcement of a subpoena, paving the way for a New York grand jury to obtain and review the sought-after financial documents. So, again, they have the you've maintained they have the documents. They're saying, he inflated his net worth. That's an issue between the lenders and the real estate mogul. So you have career bureaucrats who know nothing about real estate, even though they live maybe lifelong New Yorkers, and they know nothing about New York real estate or any real estate because they're bureaucrats. They get paid by the government. They're not entrepreneurs, and they don't own land, or they don't own office buildings or hotels. So you have Deutsche Bank, who gave Trump $2 billion. $2 billion in decades. You think Deutsche Bank lost money? You think they were just hypnotized by the Orange Menace? They gave him $2 billion in several decades. And part of his real estate holdings Like what President Trump does oftentimes is he puts his name on buildings or hotels. And so how do you put a price tag on the brand name Trump? So that's another issue. It's not like, and then any lender or bank is going to say, yeah, you know what, that collateral or that property, or you want a loan from us, but that's not worth that much. So we want you to pay a higher interest rate. And so every like business owner or every real estate magnate is going to say, even a homeowner is going to say, well, no, this property is worth a lot more than you think. I mean, like, that's essentially what they're going after Trump for. Okay, the difference between Trump and Michael Cohen, for example, is that Michael Cohen had a failed taxi business, and he didn't have The Apprentice, and he didn't have 30, 40 years of being in the spotlight, and he was not a billionaire. He made millions, and then his taxi empire, like the medallions, taxi medallions, were worth essentially a bag of Cheetos after Uber and Lyft. Which I don't understand why taxis in New York and other cities don't just develop apps. That's the whole thing with Uber. It's an app on your phone. So you just, I don't get that. Like, I don't get why. If you can tell me in the comment section below, like, taxi companies saw the writing on the wall. Why didn't they just simply adapt? And develop their own app? Maybe they do. Maybe they have their own app, and I don't even know about it. Nobody knows about it. Anyway, that's what Michael Cohen was eventually, because he got it for tax evasion. I mean, in millions of dollars. But anyway, the IRS had Trump's taxes for years. Okay. The IRS found nothing. The government had his tax returns. They found nothing. They had, like, if there was any glaring criminal activity, the government would have, because the United States government generally leans Democrat. You saw that with the DOJ, the FBI, I mean, a lot of these, the Pentagon, they lean Democrat. You don't think they would have leaked information to the Washington Post if, for example, Trump was hiding something nefarious? I mean, he's been in the public eye. He's gone bankrupt, but so what? What, you want to change bankruptcy laws because he went bankrupt 5 or 6 times? You can go bankrupt. If you build yourself back up, you should be, that's a good thing. But he's still a billionaire. They're saying, oh, he's not that rich. Oh, my God. It's like they want to cut him down to size, but it's funny because they've been trying to bully him by saying he's the ultimate bully. And yet they've set him up and framed him. He never worked with Russia. He never pressured Zelensky. He doesn't have these grandiose financial crimes. Anyway, my question is, it's been over a month. Cy Vance and Manhattan prosecutors have had his tax returns, the holy grail of Trump corruption. They found nothing. Bupkis, zilch, nada, zero, nothing. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. I'll be back in a couple of